So hey friends, happy holidays. I did tell you I was going to get you another review in before Christmas, and here it is. While it does have to do with technology, it's not necessarily the tech that we're used to talking about on this channel. However, I did tell a lot of you that I would continue doing sneaker reviews ever since I did my Diadora Me baskets. Had some requests to do more of my collection and other shoes that are coming up. Obviously, I'm not going to get onto every drop because I just don't want to drop money like that on that resale life. And I don't have a bot, and Nike's never going to let me, or Nike and Adidas are never going to let me get retail on any shoe. So yeah, I think that I have a shoe here that is very appropriate for the holidays, and that is the Humanrace or Adidas Sichonas. This is very interesting. I've been rocking these for the last 3 weeks, and I have some thoughts on them. But I figured it would be very appropriate with Christmas coming and this colorway. But there is some stuff that we can talk about in terms of the history of the shoe and where it came from and the idea behind it. So let's go into that. The Sichona's name comes from the Dakota indigenous tribe here in America. Pharrell has a long-standing relationship with the people and has established the Sichona alongside a campaign with that tribe. The name Sichona embodies the Dakota phrase of connecting with the earth, a phrase that resonated with Pharrell's objectives for the shoe to find a feeling of walking around barefoot when he was a kid. In pursuit of that goal, Pharrell has prescribed materials to help with that free foot feeling, while giving it a striking look that sets it apart from other silhouettes in the Adidas line. Starting with the upper, it's a standard prime knit that you've come to expect from Adidas, but the knit does seem to be more free-flowing than their standard knit. It allows more flex and free movement. This freedom is surprising as the knit also seems to be double layered, which allows for some protection of the laces, unlike some other Adidas model which have your feet hitting the laces directly. The booty construction looks relatively seamless until the midfoot, where the knit transitions to a more rigid knit. The construction also has a high collar that is extremely stretchy and allows your foot to get in. This is by no means a hands-free slip-on shoe. They're actually harder to get in than you'd expect. While there's a front pull tab and a contrasting tag to help you stretch the shoe open, the lack of a back tab is a noticeable omission that I wish they hadn't, just for ease of entry. In terms of lockdown, these shoes form to your foot due to the knit and use big, chunky rope laces to round off the aesthetic. While you can tie these down to your heart's content, they do have some limits on lockdown due to their lacing design. The lacing does stop midway through the foot, and it is reliant on the snugness of the collar to maintain that lockdown. While in practice these allow for a lot of natural movement, there is some footbed lockdown concerns if you're looking to be more active, but we'll get more into that later in the review. Moving on to that footbed, all you really have is a simple foam insert. So you have this branding from Pharrell, which is on most of his shoes, of the foot diagram, but this one has sort of grassy tones to fit that whole barefoot on the earth sort of motif. And it does not really anything special. It's not like an ortholite or anything, but it does provide a little bit of shape and a little bit of cushion to protect you from the footbed, which I can't really show it to you here, but it's smooth and rubberized, and yeah, there's nothing special about that. But as we start talking about the transition from the upper to the midsole, essentially they are stitched directly together and overlaid pretty seamlessly. Normally you see fuse here, but it's a much more subtle transition. Initially I thought this looked a little messy, but it grew on me over time. It looks a little like drawing the horizon line on a landscape painting. The midsole is a rubber-coated polyurethane foam that uses a direct inject method for casting. This future natural method supposedly allows the foam to react more freely to the foot than other methods which have restrictive elements within them. I believe that this was first introduced with the Hardened 5 to emphasize natural movement, which is obviously perfect for Pharrell's goal with these shoes. Continuing on with Pharrell's free foot design principle, the midsole construction does seem to have a wide toe box to allow for some toe splay, as well as a chunky heel to cushion you from those heel strikes. The back has the Hue branding with a little shark fin, which is a nice touch, and in this red colorway it gives it kind of Red October vibes, which I like a lot. Lastly, moving on to the outsole, it has a darker rubber material that has a jelly look to it. It looks very similar to the future natural runners, but opts for the Humanrace branding with a sleeker traction pattern. They do collect dust a little bit, so they might require a wipe to regain some traction. Now that we've dissected the Sichonas with all the bits and pieces, let's talk about daily use, just to show you how these fit into your everyday life and if the marketing really meets the actual practice of these on foot. So the Sichonas in terms of sizing are, I would say, true to size. So I'm a size 11 in Adidas and these are 11 and they fit perfectly with socks. However, if you feel like you want more lockdown, or if you feel like you're going to use these without socks, I would say that you shouldn't have any issue sizing down. I did feel some areas where I would want to size down, but in terms of this, I'm using this more of a casual shoe, so being true to size works for me. But if you want something more tight for active fit, I would say that you could size down. However, I will sort of caution you, this is more of a casual shoe, and we will get into that when we go into the active fit portion of this review. But yes, for me, this is a casual shoe, since for that reason, true to size is perfect. But let's talk about me using this, because I did go through work days, I did workouts in them, I ran around doing errands, I did a bunch of things. So let me show you a little bit of what I've tried on in terms of the look of it, how to style it, as well as just how to use it and things to consider before you do buy these. So I use the Sichonas consistently for the month of December just to get a real feel for them. I dress them up, I dress them down, I use them for workouts just to see where these fit best. Obviously joggers and leggings or anything with a taper do well with these. However, I was surprised that even with things with less taper like jeans or dress pants still could flow, if you're bold enough to rock them, of course. Due to the tight on-ankle fit of the collar, tapered fit and cropped pants tend to work the best and accentuate the legs for these shoes appropriately. So that's something to consider if you're trying to use these with pants. Anything with shorts, you'll look good on them regardless. I use these to run around Seattle before the holidays to get some work done, and these were great to get errands done and jump between working spots. They were comfortable all day, and I never had overheating issues. You could legit use these as fancy house slippers if you want to. They feel like socks, and the foam just feels nice to stand around in. In fact, I did clean off the bottoms of these and use these as my house slipper when I went home, just because they are so comfy, and it's kind of cold in my house, so they were nice and warm. While these won't keep you warm on frigid days, I was warming these with normal socks and 40-degree temperatures with the wind, so don't let the knit dissuade you from using these when temperatures drop. Obviously, these are untreated knit shoes, so they won't hold up against wetter conditions, but you can get through light showers without much issue. With how comfy these shoes were and all the barefoot talk around them, I did want to see how easy these could transition from work to play, especially because they were inspired sort of by basketball shoes, and I was hoping that I could find some transition between, carrying less shoes when I go on trips and things, and this would be cool, especially because it is such a sort of bold and statement sneaker that I could potentially use everywhere. However, spoiler alert, these don't do as well on the active side as they do just casually walking around. So let's talk about that. So you can definitely take these to the gym and stunt on an upper body day, since you're not actively engaging your legs that much. It's stable enough to do standing dumbbell work or lighter recovery days. However, if you're doing more core leg lifts like deadlifts, squats, cleans, I would say that you would need more support and less squish in your shoe. You just need more ground feel and stability to drive force for those lifts. While the Future Natural purports more ground feel,
boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy.
I mean, look at that cushion.
Oh, yeah. Damn, boy. Damn, boy, he's thick. Boy, that's a thick-ass boy. Damn.
Even with these simple standing cable flies, I found myself wanting more of a solid base to perform these. This was further emphasized when I did some running and jumping in the Sichonas. The squish messed up my timing, and I actually found myself fatiguing a lot faster than expected. I just had to push so much harder to get lift off my steps and jumps, and it's literally one of the hardest jumping sessions I've had in a long time. It just fatigued my legs tremendously, and my feet actually got quite sore just from doing an hour of jump roping. While these look dope as fuck, I was catching more rope than I was eyes during my Gasworks Park session. So now that you guys have seen some of the ways that I've used these, let's wrap this video up with my final thoughts. So I had to reshoot this because this microphone is too pretty and it gets prioritized on autofocus over my face. So here we are shooting this outro again. However, the Sichonas, beautiful shoe. I do think that it's just a casual runner, and I don't think that you should be using this for active stuff, just because there's too much squish and there's not enough stability where you could drive any force or have any sort of core field to manipulate something or to have a good timing that would be good for athletic performance. But if you're just using this to run errands, wear it to the office, have a shoe that you can fit all day and not complain about, and like wiggle your toes and have fun with it. The Sichonas are great, and I think that the silhouette is nice and striking and just different enough without like kind of straying from what makes Adidas a good sneaker, but like changes it up enough where this shoe is striking, has a nice unique shape, and it'll be eye-catching enough and different that you won't blend if you want to rock that aesthetic. These shoes do come in a bunch of different colorways. They did a green families only colorway. They did a blue to launch it. There's this red one. I believe a yellow one came in November. And then I'm seeing things about a pink and a black one coming up soon. So there are definitely more of this shoe coming out. So if you missed out on the original ones, there's probably more silhouettes that they're emphasizing with this. In terms of getting this, even on resale, I believe that they're selling for around retail. Some of them are under depending on the sizing. So I don't think you should have an issue if you are interested in this sneaker or any of the other colorways that are out existing. Except probably the friends and family green one. You should be able to get this sneaker relatively easy. So if you do decide to pick it up, let me know. Let me know if I influenced your decision to not buy or buy one, but let me know in the comments. But anyway, I appreciate you guys sticking around for this different review than what my channel normally does, but I do want to try to do sneakers a little bit more here and there just to mix up the content a little bit. But I do thank you guys for tuning in. And again, if you liked it, please consider liking, subscribing, commenting, doing all the things that you normally do on a video that you like and love. And to all my OGs, thank you for guiding me along with what content you want to see and helping my channel grow even when I'm inconsistent with my posting schedule. But I got you guys too in a week on holidays. I'm here for you, kind of. But yeah, thank you for being patient with me. Anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday, whatever you may be celebrating. Get some time off, spend time with the family, and I should see you before the new year. I got another video coming. I've got to shoot some B-roll. But yeah, as always, appreciate y'all. Peace.